So hello and welcome back to the drawing channel, and today we are going to be doing an illustration that features this guy, and he is the black-eyed boy. So if you'd like to see a comic version of this character, here it comes. See you there. The black-eyed boy. Well, hello and welcome back. Hopefully today the cameras will be behaving themselves. They've been an absolute pain in the butt recently. They have been horrible this week. As you see with the True Love video seemed to stagger the image all the way through the drawing. So I'm hoping that today we will be okay. So as I explained in the intro, we are going to start off today's lovely drawing with a terrible character, a terrible, terrible part of my story, and that is the character of the black-eyed boy. And he really has become a very important part of this character, a very important part of this story. He has become the main demon, if you want to call him a demon, or if you want to call him a ghost, or whatever you want to call him. He has really become the main problem for Norman in the story. In Worry Lips 1, he becomes an evil little creature. And I have tried, like I've said in the intro, I've tried very hard to maintain his demon status, but at the same time giving it a comical twist to try and keep it bearable for the story. And he has these black staring eyes in the story. As to his name of the black-eyed boy, and he is a demon that seems to enjoy giving Norman's life distress, giving it problems, giving it hell. Now this was strongly based on a vision that I had after my hospital. He was a vision that I had that came to I don't want to say haunt. He came to give me a very bad time. And he enjoyed staring through the window at me. In my mind, of course. How else would he be there? In my mind, this terrible vision would appear. And I've tried to make him quite a bearable character in this. In this story, I tried to keep him quite comical. Although in the real side of it, he was one of the very bad sides of the whole experience. He was this believable nightmare. Is that a good description? How else do you describe him? The funny thing was that I didn't really believe in a lot of ghosty things and spooky things and such before my ghostly experience. Before my ghostabulous experience, I should say, shouldn't I? Since that was the title of the book. And I loved the idea that I could change one of those nightmares into some kind of comical creature. And I think it came off quite successful. I kind of had this vision that he would have rotting teeth, but he would have like a lipstick or something that would shine over the edge of his lips, a smudged lipstick. A little bit like the man from The Cure, whatever his name was. What was the name of the guy in The Cure? What was he, the singer? And I wanted these teeth just to be a horrible kind of vision of and I thought the idea of him having this wide, toothy grin with this kind of smudge of lipstick would kind of add to the bizarre feeling. And he becomes a very important part in the story for Norman and for all the bad things that happen to Norman. He is one of those constant reminders, a constant fear for him, a constant hell. And that's the teeth coming across. I'll darken those up in a minute. And I've just tried to get a nice pose of him kind of. Now I didn't really want to even explain that he was going to be in book 2, but since I'm drawing him for book 2, I think it kind of automatically gives it all away, really. Gives the idea that this demon boy will be returning to cause trouble. And it's okay. It's okay to give a secret or two away. But it's very difficult because I have to kind of choose which illustrations to do on a daily basis, whereas I can't do all of them because, like in this situation, it kind of gives a lot of the elements of the story away. Now, should I keep drawing the Worry Lips illustrations on, or should I go back to drawing demos of other characters and other styles? Please let me know. It really is important for you to let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, I will be drawing the same kind of characters, and I might make people a little bit fed up with seeing the same type of characters in the same situation. But please let me know. And it is nice to kind of bring some of the characters back in a way that it kind of has this repetition of characters that you start to know and start to love. I do think that's a really important element, that you're bringing back characters that you want to see again, you want to see more of. And I did get a lot of questions about the black-eyed boy. In fact, I got one from Magnus today. Great question. And I did a special little video there. So if you are interested, go and watch the little video. It's only like 3 minutes or something. But it does kind of explain a little bit more into the detail of who the black-eyed boy was and what is his point in the story. And there's also a glimpse into what was originally going to be the cover of the book. The cover of the book was actually going to be an oil painting. An oil painting was an oil painting of the black-eyed boy. And I had considered doing a few oil paintings and putting them into the story. Putting them in as the illustrations for the story. Again, it's that point of like doing artwork that fits the situation. And at the time, I really felt like if I had put in like 10 portraits in oil, that it might kind of fit the whole theme of the story. In fact, the cover of don't know where the other word is, but there is there. The cover of that would have made a lovely oil painting. That kind of square character, and with the deep dark eyes, would have made a lovely oil painting. And but as the idea for the story kind of changed and the story became a much more comical vision, which I'm actually very pleased of. I'm very pleased that it took that kind of comical approach and didn't go down the dark and spooky route. In some way, I think it wouldn't have been as therapeutic to write the terror in real words, but to write your fears in a comical way was indeed fantastic therapy and a fantastic way to deal with all those demons of writing them up and in a comical sense. How beautiful is that? And it really did work out very well. I mean, the only one that took me a little bit of time was Siconia. That took me a little bit of time to get used to how I had finally illustrated her. Although she went through a lot of trials. She went through a lot of versions. And I really did feel like the final version worked. It kept her... See, one of the difficult things about a character is you give away too much. You give away the fact that they are a bad guy. They are a what. And you can do that by your design. So the final design for her was a very simple affair. And in that way, it gave everybody this kind of constant question: is she good? Is she bad? And I was very, very, very pleased with that. The fact of having this kind of ghost follow Norman out from the darker side of life to, or the darker side of death, if you want to be, and would leave you with a lot of questions. And the questions I really enjoyed, people second guessing everything. I really enjoyed the fact that people didn't quite know how to take her. And of course that pulls a lot of interest into a character, which I was very pleased about. I was very, very, very pleased that people were taken by her, that people did fall in love with her almost. Because then that makes book 2 even more of a challenge, you know. Once people have got their opinion of somebody, can you change it? Can you break it? Can you damage their vision? And that's a very, very, very challenging thing as an author to do. Once people have got their ideas and you're stepping in with a new idea for them, it has to somehow click that the new vision that you're putting forward has some little spark in the back of their mind, that, you know. And I'm extremely happy with this book. And I think it's a very lovely second adventure. And I'm also very, very, very pleased that I kind of kept all the characters together so that there could be a second book. It really had that kind of desperation to, especially for me, it was like a desperation. And you know, I got a lot of people saying, will this happen in book 2? At the time, for me, it was like, book 2? What do you mean book 2? I just finished book 1, you know. And they would ask these questions, and it was always very tickling the back of my mind, you know. And so to come up with book 2 was fantastic, wonderful. And I'm hoping that you're going to love it. I'm hoping it's going to be a sensation. That's quite a nice demon type of feeling for him. Now I should take this opportunity to remind everybody that I have a lot of books. If you are interested in my drawing style or some of the stories that I talk about, pop on over to Amazon and buy yourself a book. Treat yourself. Even with the Worry Lips thing, there is a whole small catalogue almost of Worry Lips, because it did start off with a book of thoughts, a book of a broken-hearted, depressed man who had these kind of thoughts, and I loved that first edition where it's like an illustration and a crazy thought. It really did work very well in my mind. I was very, very pleased with it. And so far I haven't really, especially like even writing the book 2, I haven't got to a point where I'm kind of looking at book 1 and saying, oh, I wish this had happened and I wish I had done that, which I do feel like a lot of authors kind of have that regret. And so far I haven't, and I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased with the fact that I'm extremely happy with what I've done. And with the reviews, it has come across very, very pleasing. I'm extremely happy with your words. Now I've got two kind of creature bats that I wanted to put in there on the back of where he is. And there's one on either corner. I wanted this idea, but it's going to be a little bit too wet, I think, for me to, unless I get into the idea of drawing it upside down, which I'm, as you know me, I'm always up for the challenge, but right now I think I'll just finish this one for today. And I would love to get your thoughts and your thoughts and feelings about today's drawing, and in fact even about the black-eyed boy. What do you feel about the black-eyed boy? How did you feel about him in the story? Did he give you some kind of fear at the beginning? Yeah, I know he did me. So there we have it. That is today's drawing. I'm not going to attempt the two creatures at the top at this point, because I do feel like they need a little bit of sensitivity to it. But you'll see it in the final book, so don't worry about it. So that is today's drawing of the black-eyed boy. And don't be shy to send me a comment. I do love your comments. I do sit down at night and I read all the comments from all the different platforms. There's so many different platforms now. And I do read a lot of the comments through with Mr. Miro. Me with a hot chocolate and him looking at my hot chocolate. Why don't they do doggy hot chocolate? Here's a question for you. And we love to read through the questions, and it's amazing how the questions are so different from different platforms. From TikTok, from Facebook, from Instagram. Come on. And they're all quite a different group of people. It really is quite amazing how very different styles of people are joining these groups. You can almost kind of go through and say, well, that's a Facebook comment, that's a TikTok comment, So there we have the black-eyed boy for your entertainment today. And if you are interested to know a little bit more, do pop across and see the video I did for Magnus, who asked a little bit more about the details of the black-eyed boy, and you'll see the possible, what was to be the cover of the book. Interesting. So thank you very much for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for enjoying my drawing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. And I will see you all back again very, very soon. Bye-bye. All clean.